Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks Podcast. And today, we're basically going to be diving deep into the match preview for the game against Grimsby Town FC in the Carabao Cup second round. We're going to just be breaking down the match preview because Manchester United's Carabao journey has begun already with a tricky away tie at the Blundell Park against League Two side Grimsby Town. Yeah, it is a challenging journey and a tricky tie, a slippery pill. While United enter as heavy favorites, Carabao Cup has a long history of producing upsets and then and with that, in the past we've had a couple of games where we've had upsets and stuff. David Artel's Marinas have started their domestic season in firm form, and that is one thing we're going to talk about when we get to the head-to-head. But for Rúben Amorim, this game is more than just a cup tie. It's about building confidence, testing squad depth, and ensuring momentum carries over into the Premier League campaign where we've had to struggle a bit. United will be expected to dominate, but against an unbeaten side who thrive on high intensity, this won't be a walk in the park. Yep. We're a bit worried about all of things. We're a bit worried about how things are panning out and all of that, but we're going to see. With regards to form guide, basically, we're going to talk about, just form and stuff. Man United, in the last 5 competitive games, including preseason, have won 3 games and drawn twice, and then lost 1 as well. So 3 games, 2 draws, 1 loss. United lifted the Premier League Summer Series, as we all know, but now it's a thing of the past, and capped off a preseason with consistent performances, showing better fluidity under Rúben Amorim's tactical structure, but played very well against Arsenal and struggled against Fulham. Right now, the opening league games have tested the defensive resolve, but signs of progress are actually clear, despite the fact that United fans are a bit on the edge and calling for the manager's head, as the case may be. As for Grimsby Town, they played 5 games in their League 2 25-26 campaign, and they've won 3 and 4 and drawn 1. So they're unbeaten in 5. The Mariners are unbeaten in 5, start scoring 13 goals in that run and showing their ability to press and punish mistakes. At home, they've scored 2 or more goals in 5 straight games, making Blundell Park a fortress early this season. To further break down, like stats and stuff for head-to-head, in the Carabao Cup, they've had 3 wins and 2 draws, so still unbeaten in the Carabao Cup. They played 3-3 in the first game of Carabao Cup. Just in the Carabao Cup, in total, 3 wins and 2 draws. For Man United in the Carabao Cup, we've played, so for Man United in all competitions, I think. So in all competitions for Grimsby Town, they have had 3 wins and 2 draws. For Man United in all competitions, we've had 1 win, 3 draws, and 1 loss, and that loss against Arsenal. As far as Carabao Cup is concerned, for Grimsby Town, they won the first round, and then they've lost 3 games and drawn 1. And as far as Man United are concerned, in the Carabao Cup, we've won 3 games and lost 2. So it is what it is. It's a bit tricky. And then for kind of head-to-head between both teams, Man United have played against Grimsby Town a couple of times in the past. In the last couple of games, it's been 14 wins for United, 14 wins for Grimsby Town, and 17 wins for Manchester United. Then 6 draws between both teams. But in the last 5 games, Man United beat Grimsby Town, I think 3 times and drawn 2. So it is something to really watch and talk about and think about as well. It's a slippery pill for Man United. Man United and Grimsby Town really cross paths, right? Their last competitive meeting kind of dates back to decades. With United, usually comfortable winners. However, history also reminds us that there's been some humbling domestic cup exits to lower league oppositions. Grimsby themselves have reached the FA Cup quarterfinals they reached the FA Cup quarterfinals in 2023, famously beating Southampton. So they are no strangers to giant killing. This tie carries the same banana skin peel or banana skin potential. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings. I mean, just to look a little bit about the head-to-head stats and stuff, you can see that they have a good record. In the last 5 games, they've been unbeaten, and also it's something for us to kind of think about. And a lot of fans are a bit worried and a bit, kind of, concerned about Man United's because of the first 2 games, right? So everybody's kind of like calling for everybody's head, looking for who to blame, and everything in between. So we're going to talk about playing style. We're going to talk about playing style, how Grimsby play. So with regards to their playing style is focused on 5 things, basically, that we've based on our research. Their playing style is focused on high intensity pressing. They lead the league too in pressed sequences and high turnovers, often creating shots directly from winning the ball back high. They also are possession oriented when it comes to build up. They are ambitious in playing out from the back, with the goalkeeper and the defenders integral to ball progression. Also, with regards to wing play, their wing backs push high up, delivering crosses into the box, while their front 3 look to capitalize on chaos in the area. Now, for counter-attack threats, basically, which is the number 4 thing that their gameplay is centered on. When facing stronger opponents or stronger sides, Grimsby are quick to break, often using vertical passing into channels. And they have a flexible kind of formation which switches from 3-4-3 and wing backs and to a compact 4-2-3-1, defending on the opponent. So if we're going to go with that, then we're going to talk about rated lineup for Grimsby Town. Rated lineup for Grimsby Town, we're going to go with, based on their last game that they've played and the strongest team that they've used, we're going to go with Pine, who is their goalkeeper and a star player and just recently signed their number 1 goalie. And then we'll go with Mark Jomet, and Rogers as their center back. They could potentially, instead of going with Rogers, they will go with they will switch it to Warren, who is on the right back. They'll switch him to right center back. So Tyrell Warren, and then Rogers goes to right back. So however they play, that's their back 5. And then they have the Mark Ekron, either that's George Ekron in the center of midfield. And then they can also go with Burns on the left side. And then they have Curry on the right side, on at the center of attacking midfield. And then they have Turi on one of the attacking midfield position. And then a good player to watch is Amaluzo, right, of Nigerian descent. And he plays for England, I think. Was born in Nigeria. Oh, he was of Nigerian. He has Nigerian parents. So that's Amaluzo on the right wing for them. They're number 14. And then they have Jaze Kabia, who is their star player and their top scorer. So Tyrell Warren is one of the good players. But if we're going to talk about that, then the key player to watch for Grimsby Town, based on just research and stuff. I've not really watched their game, but you can actually research it online. The key player to watch is Jaze Kabia. Jaze Kabia has played the last 4 games or 5 games, as the case may be, and in the last 4 games, he scored 2 goals. One in the Carabao Cup and the other in the League 2, their league, right? So been a good player. And then they have other key players like Amaluzo, who has scored also in the Carabao Cup or in their league as well. Then there's also Gardner, who has also done amazing things for them. So for Jaze Kabia, he's a forward / a winger. He's the most explosive forward. Kabia is direct, aggressive in 1v1s, and capable of scoring from wide areas. I mean, he's already contributed goals and assists in their first start this season. The other key players, like I said, Amaluzo, a powerful striker who thrives. He plays on the right wing, plays as a striker as well, but thrives on aerial duels and physical duels. Perfect for Grimsby's crossing approach. And then Tyrell Warren, who is a versatile, wing back slash centre back, can play. His engine actually allows Grimsby to stretch the play and overload the flanks. So it depends on wherever he's being featured. That's the Tyrell Warren. Now over to how Manchester United play. With regards to Man United, we all know how Man United play under Rúben Amorim. Everybody is talking about changing the style. Everybody's talking about Man United. Rúben Amorim should be flexible enough to switch play. Instead of playing a 3-4-3, he should change to a 4-2-3-1. But obviously, this is something that I've said several times, that this is something that works for him, that has worked for him in the past, and he believes that it will work, especially with the right players. So we have to just back the decision and trust the decision. If it fails, it fails. If it works, it works. You saying, oh, sack him doesn't make Ineos sack him. Putting pressure on him doesn't make it any better. Right. So under Rúben Amorim, he operates with a fluid 3-4-3 system, hybrid system, where it eventually becomes a 4-2-3-1 somehow when one of the midfielders or one of the 2 10s drops into midfield and one of the holding midfielders drop into defense. But with build up, Onana steps up high as a sweeper keeper if he's starting. If Bandera is starting as well, that's also what's expected, while creating overloads in the midfield. With regards to progression, Kobbie Mainoo dictates tempo from deep if he's starting this game, carrying and threading passes through the lines, which is expected as well. With attack, Bruno Fernandes as a creative hub, with Cunha providing movement. You never can tell depending on who starts as one of the 2 10s and between the lines. Then Sesko stretching the back line as well vertically with defensive shape, a compact 5-2-3, forcing play wide, before springing, pressing traps with immediate counter pressing when possession is lost. Now, this system demands energy and intelligence. I was having a conversation with someone on TikTok, and the person was talking about, oh, this formation doesn't work. It makes the players work hard. And my question to the person was, so what do you expect of the players? Not to work hard at all? Like, to not work hard at all? The system demands the players to work hard. And my response to him before he made that statement was that I said that the system demands players who are versatile and can play multiple positions. And I've said this several times on this channel. Amad Diallo plays multiple positions. Bruno, multiple positions. Cunha, multiple positions. Mbumo, multiple positions. Sesko, multiple positions. Xerxes, multiple positions, right? So it demands players who can play multiple positions. Lenny Euro, same, multiple positions. How about Luke Shaw? Same, multiple positions. Players I'm calling, even Matheus Cunha, multiple positions. Harry Maguire, also players who are versatile, who can actually, demand the best of each other in the squad. So Rúben Amorim knows the kind of players he wants. So, like I said, he's saying, oh, he makes the players work too hard, and then when he gets to the second half, they get tired. But in truth, it is the same working hard that most Man United fans have given Marcus Rashford pelters for not delivering, for not working hard. What about Anthony? Pelters as well for, not working hard, for not working hard enough. And now you're saying, oh, it makes the players work too hard. I'm like, well, that was my argument and that was my question. And I wait the person's answers, right? So it is what it is. The system demands energy and intelligence and qualities that Rúben Amorim is embedding into the squad. Everybody is demanding of each other, and Rúben Amorim is demanding of the entire team. Now, which brings me to my potential or predicted starting 11. And in truth, I've thought about this starting 11 several times. I've thought about the potential of us starting with a good squad. But then I thought about it again with regards to all the noise going on social media about Man United playing without Kobbie Mainoo and making sure Kobbie Mainoo starts and all. And I started to think about it. And then I saw a group chat somewhere and I saw a lineup and I thought about it again. And I'm like, okay, looking at what Rúben Amorim said in press conference, which we're going to review in the next video, there is a chance for rotation here. And we will see it depending on what I like. We'll see what I'm going to give you depending on what Rúben Amorim decides to do. But yeah, so based off of that, my predicted lineup for the game against Grimsby Town FC is, it goes like Andre Onana in net, first game back since injury, and he didn't have any preseason minutes. So Andre Onana in net. Then we have Matheus de Ligt at the center of center, rather not Matheus de Ligt. So that's a typo there. That is a typo there. I'm going to fix it. So at the center of center back, like I said earlier, is Harry Maguire at the center of center back, leading from the back. And we have Aiden Heaven on the left side of center back. He came on in the last game. Most potentially will start this one. And then Tyler Fredrickson, 21-year-old. He's growing and evolving, and this should be his breakout point or breakout season, seeing as he played well last season and Amorim seems to like him. So Tyler Fredrickson at the right side of center back, and then in midfield, based on popular demands and the cry of the fans, Kobbie Mainoo and Man Utd center as the 2 10s or as the 2 6s, deep line playmaker and then destroyer in Man Utd. And then Patrick Dogu comes in on the left wing back position, continues his stride and his form, needs to even show more and do better. And then we have Amad Diallo on the right side of center back of wing back. He was subbed off at the 55th minute in the previous game against Fulham, and then he comes on this one and starts again ahead of Diogo Dalot, who had a horrible game considering his mistake led to one of the goals. And then we have Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is going to start as one of the 10s to redeem himself again. And then Matheus Cunha as well, one of the 10s. And then we give a start to Benjamin Sesko, more like a team situation where he has to find his stride and play well with the team and see this like a preseason, but then a must-win game. It will be in a small stadium. Grimsby Town Stadium is the Blundell Park. The small stadium is expected that it's going to just only have, I think it sits, just having a look here, it sits around, let me see, 9,000 people. So 9,000 in capacity. If all of them are seated, it is a 9,000 seater capacity. It has hosted a record attendance of 31,651 versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. So I don't understand how it says here that it says 9,000 people. We're going to check further. So 9,052 people at Blundell Park. So we're going to observe from there. But it is what it is. I think Man United is going to go with like 2,000 fans. Let's see how that goes. So it's a small stadium, a good place for Man United players to kind of get a sense of what is going on and build momentum in the team. So what do you guys think about this lineup? Do you think that is the lineup that Rúben Amorim is going to go with? If not, drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Rúben Amorim's potential lineup for this game. Would he go very strong or go with a rotated lineup with Andre Onana in net, considering that there's a lot of news going on about the Man United signing a new goalkeeper? Then for key players to watch for this game, I went away from the regular customers in regards to the key players, and I went with Benjamin Sesko, because this is it's time for him to kind of evolve and eventually kind of learn about the team, even with him to even score a goal. So Benjamin Sesko is one of the key players to watch for this one, likely to lead the line. His pace and area presence can exploit Grimsby's high defensive line, and we expect him to get chances from cutbacks and crosses, which is where he thrives. And the team will learn to play with him and play according to his strengths. Another key player to watch would be Kobbie Mainoo, who is been, everybody's been crying out for him to play, and then we might get a chance to see him. Already a vital piece of the midfield. His press resistance and his ability to dictate tempo will also be key for Grimsby Town aggressive press. And then, obviously, another key player to watch in this one is the captain's creativity. That is Captain Magnifico Bruno Fernandes. Last season, he had nine Premier League assists and 75 chances he created last season alone, just in the Premier League. He'll be essential to unlock Grimsby's compact setup because they might do a low block, and that is where it is necessary to play between the lines. And then obviously the last person to watch in this one is Matheus Cunha. It adds movement and chaos in the final third. His ability to draw defenders out of shape and could open gaps for Sesko. So we're gonna see for the first time how Sesko, Bruno and Cunha will play and all of that. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section about this one. What do you think? Do you think Bruno should start and all of that? So I have basically the next point, which is how Manchester United can win or beat Grimsby Town. The first one is to play through the press. Play to the press. Grimsby Town commit bodies forward, leaving spaces behind midfield and defense. Mainoo's composure and Onana's distribution can also break their press and transition quickly. So we need to play through the press because they press high and all of that. That's number one. Number two, exploit wide overloads. Grimsby Town's wing backs push very high, leaving space behind. United's wingers, Ahmad and Mbumo, or even Ahmad and Dogu, can also, with underlapping runs from Fernandes, can punish these gaps, especially, when Fernandes or Cunha, they play through the lines and all of that on the lap, then they can punish the gaps. Then we can also talk about number 3 point, which is to target aerial duels. Despite their energy, Grimsby's backline struggles against elite physical strikers. Sesko's height and timing can make a major threat. So we need to be able to, target them in that. And then number 4 is maintain concentration defensively. Now, Grimsby Town thrive on chaos and chaotic turnovers. United must control transitions with Ugarte shielding, and then Maguire or probably De Ligt, if possible, Aiden Heaven and Tyler Ferguson holding composure in duels. The point is, I saw a stat somewhere and I saw some videos somewhere that Grimsby Town are a set piece team. They use set pieces a lot and they scored a lot of set pieces only in just this season. So they're good at set pieces, free kicks, corner kicks and stuff. So we need to be wary of that. So let's keep it going. So the key player that can make an impact is for Bruno to control tempo, for passing, to deliver those set pieces, to dictate attacking transitions, for Sesko to exploit defensive gaps and cover chances ruthlessly, and for Mainoo to bypass the first press and launch forward momentum, just like we saw when he did it against Bournemouth, when we played against Bournemouth and we beat them in preseason. Now, to wrap this all up, from a United perspective, this is about professionalism and focus. Grimsby will press hard. Let's look to make it very uncomfortable. They might look to make it very uncomfortable for Man United, and they will rely on the crowd's energy at Blundell Park. But if United can stay composed and execute their press resistance and utilize their superior quality in the final third, then we should progress comfortably. Everybody is scared, everybody is worried, but this game is a chance for Amorim to test new signings, rotate sensibly, and build confidence in young players like Mainoo, like Sesko, like Tyler Fredrickson, Aiden Heaven, these young players. And then they'll be galvanized by more, experienced players like Onana, Maguire, Fernandes, Cunha, and the likes. Potentially, depending on Ugarte as well, depending on who starts the game. So it's a game, to test all of this and send the right message, right? Commanding win would actually send the right message that United mean business this season and are hungry for silverware on all fronts. And this should be the game or the competition that we should put in our efforts to try to win, at least to win a trophy this season, because the competition pretty much finishes in February, right? So we need to at least go far in this competition. This amongst the other 2 competitions that we're in, which is the Premier League, which just started, only 2 games in. I know you might call me deluded, but this is what I think. And then the FA Cup as well, could go far in that. So With regards to expected results, from a United perspective, I am expecting United to win by 2 or more goals, with Sesko and Fernandes and also Cunha likely to shine when it comes to creating or scoring goals. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how Man United can improvise a genuine win for this game. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. What's your predicted scoreline? I know Man United is going to win. I believe Man United is going to win. We're going to put in that effort and all of that. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye and God bless.